Joined now by former Judge Jim Barretto, who's been following this trial every step of the way. Judge, thanks for being with us.
Good afternoon, Ben.
Yeah, thank you for being here. First, as Ed just said, Clancy cried listening to testimony from the medical examiner's office. The judge did have to call a couple of breaks because of it. The judge has also reminded the jury they have to base their decision on facts, not emotion or sympathy. So how does a judge make sure that happens?
Well, Jessica, as you've noted, a rapidly developing situation occurred today that places the trial judge on the horns of a very thorny dilemma. If it keeps happening, he'll be faced with a decision of whether to have her removed from the courtroom, because it does not seem as if counsel will remove her voluntarily.
Judge, can I ask you a real basic question here? Her emotion in the courtroom, that helps her case, doesn't it?
Frankly, I think it does. There has to be a distinction drawn between becoming emotional, in other words, crying, being visibly upset, reacting to testimony, and disrupting the courtroom. By that, I mean repeatedly interrupting either the witness or speaking out, refusing to follow the judge's instructions. None of the latter have occurred. It's her sobbing, sometimes loudly, in front of the jurors that required the judge to dismiss the jury on at least 2 occasions. And I suspect this issue will keep reoccurring.
So, Judge, is part of this, though, on the prosecution for kind of continuing? We're 3 weeks into this trial now, and they're still talking about kind of nuts and bolts of the children's injuries and what happened that night heavily. And I think to most outside observers of the case, at this point, don't we already know that? I mean, does this need to be continued to be belabored?
Well, you know, your question is a very good one, but the precise point in which this happened today, that is Lindsay's repeated sobbing, occurred when the medical examiner's doctor was on the stand. The Commonwealth is absolutely required to introduce that testimony. They can't get out of it. So this was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. And I suspected that they may have discussed it at sidebar or perhaps on a break, but nonetheless to no avail, because she could not control herself during that testimony. And again, if it continues to happen, under the Massachusetts Rules of Criminal Procedure, Judge Sullivan will be faced with a very serious dilemma.
Interesting. I know one other thing that's come up this week is Clancy's defense wanting to call an additional witness. She's a former McLean Hospital employee who posted about the trial on TikTok, which is how they found her. What are your thoughts on that request and the way social media has been impacting cases like this?
Well, social media should play no role in the trial of a criminal case, particularly, of course, a case as serious as this triple homicide. That said, the defense feels strongly that they need to rebut impressions regarding Lindsay Clancy's treatment at McLean Hospital. And the judge has a major decision to make there as well. He's indicated he might want to conduct what's called a voir dire, which is sort of a mini hearing outside the presence of the jurors to determine exactly what these defense witnesses would say, and then he's going to make a decision. Remember, if there's a conviction, every aspect of this case will be scrutinized by the Supreme Judicial Court, the highest appellate court in this state. So I suspect that judge will do everything he can, obviously, not to get reversed. I suspect he may compromise, but lean over backwards to make certain he can say at the end of the day the defendant was given a fair trial.
All right, Judge Jim Barretto, thanks for sharing your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Thank you. In this trial, there's a lot of discussion about postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and thoughts of suicide. Help is available for postpartum support. Call that number there on your screen. And the National Suicide Crisis Lifeline is also available 24/7 by calling 988. We've been in the courtroom each day. Sarah Kanji has her live notes there. You can watch key moments from the trial as well on our app and on Very Local.